Uh, uh, I got two. I guess I got two. You got one? You want one of these? Here, take it. I am not a spy. So says the spy, right? Man, I don't know where to begin with that. Have you ever watched television like you're self-editing your TV watching? So you go through every station like every 5 seconds or like every 10 seconds or whatever it is. So you just keep hitting the channel up button no matter what. So you sort of end up getting this different view. No, I don't mean like you're looking for something to watch. I mean like what you're doing is the show of like absurd. The whole thing just ends up being like 5 seconds of absurd human behavior, no matter what's on. And then on the next channel, like another 5 seconds. So basically, I did that. So I would like hop on the subway, and then pop up in some random place, and then hop back on the subway, and then pop up another place, and then keep doing that. So, I mean, that's where I was. I mean, I was all over. So, I walked through the Hasidic neighborhood over here. And then, I hopped on the subway and popped up into downtown Manhattan, for a few minutes. And it's my first time there.
And this was fun to you?
Well, I gotta tell you, I mean, it ended up far more interesting than some show, I would imagine. Like I don't know what street it was. I must have been walking for like 2 minutes. And like, the next thing you know, I'm in the middle of this like man on the street shoot.
Oh my God.
And this guy's sticking his microphone in my face and yelling questions at me. And then he gets angry at me. I'm not sure what for, but and he and the cameraman just like walk away. And the whole thing was over as soon as it started. Well, that was enough for that channel. I got back on the subway. So then I come up again in what I believe is Harlem.
What street was it?
I don't remember. It was I'm pretty sure it was over 100, I think. So I'm just walking, for no more than like a couple of minutes. And I look over at the next intersection that I'm approaching. And so, everyone's walking, except one guy who's like on the opposite side of the street. He's at that intersection, but he's like on the opposite side of the street. And he's facing my side of the street. And he's wearing like sunglasses for some reason. It's not very bright. And a long trench coat. And he's just like frozen in place. Like staring across the street to my side. So the light comes up. And he doesn't take the light. He's just standing there still, just frozen. So this is weird. So I start getting close to him. Or at least, to the intersection. He's on the opposite side. And I see him, he pulls his trench coat apart, and he's got nothing underneath.
What?
And he starts going at himself. And nobody, like,
You're kidding me.
even, like, bats an eye. Everyone's just, like, walking. Nobody says a word. Nobody looks at him. He's just, like, invisible, except to me.
Oh my god.
But that's not even half of it, right? So I'm like, holy God. I mean, I was just like blown away. So so the guy pulls everything together and just unscathed, just slowly walks the opposite direction away from me, like up the street away. And I just keep walking, and I'm just like disgusted, thinking this whole thing's over, but, you know, walking towards the next intersection. And it was like deja vu. Because as I'm approaching the next intersection, I look over at that same opposite corner across the street. And there he is.
What?
The same dude. Like, just in the same exact position, staring right across the street towards my side, like a statue. Just frozen. Now, everything's changed for me. Because before, I was like, oh, there's a crazy flasher, you know? It's insane. But now, I'm like, how in the world did he get there? 1 block. And he's just frozen. And he wasn't even out of breath. So I get to the intersection, he does it again. And again, nothing. Nobody says anything. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go to the third intersection. I'm going to turn right. And I'm just going to go walk away down the street. And so he closes it up again, and he goes, same thing. He goes up the street, the opposite direction from where I was going after I turned right. Nobody batted an eye. And I'm walking, and I'm just like completely just like brain scrambled. But so I realized, like, over the next 20 minutes or so, that this guy isn't like just a flasher. This guy's a magician. I'm telling you, the man is a true entertainer. I mean, because he could have just, like, stopped at, like, shocking somebody. I mean, he's a flasher, but he didn't stop there. He made the effort to totally blow somebody's mind with a magic trick. I'm telling you, if you were there, you would swear this whole thing was done just to blow my mind. Like my mind. Just for me. Like it wouldn't have made sense for it to be a trick for somebody else. I mean, just the idea that for no money, for no recognition, no Tony Award, possibly for jail time, someone would go that far just to put a story in the mouth of one man.
Ugh. Bad choice of words.
To be repeated probably for decades. I mean, I can't imagine I'll ever forget that. That's entertainment. To me.
Well, if you have a twisted way of looking at things. Well, those guys are rare nowadays.
Was that some of the flavor you were talking about earlier?
Oh, speak, yeah. That's the color flavor you want to keep out of your mouth. Oh my god, what a nightmare. I'm wondering if you had a moment with a real legend out there. You know what? That's what you should do tomorrow. You should go over to the Flashers Hall of Fame and see if you recognize anybody on the wall. I mean, assuming you can identify the unit that flashed you. I mean, it sounds like that unit definitely made an impression on you.
I would be honored,
Probably a historian
actually.
that can help you out.
Honestly, though, I think this guy's my hero.
Well, the meal special moment with him.
It was definitely a special moment.
This very special moment. Why, where are you enjoying all that the city has to offer? New York City. Only the finest entertainers. New York City. Come for the flashes. Stay for the bagels. New York City. We're all in this shit together. New York City. Come on. Try my patience. No, try it. New York City. 8.5 million people? Here they go with some. New York City. Expect the worst. You always pleasantly surprised. New York City.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Tax it over here.
What over here?
Never mind, what's the question?
181st Street. Is that the Bronx? Or no?
Well, it depends. If it's the 181st Street station, then I think that's enhanced still.
I see.
But you're kind of next to the Bronx.
Well, that was my last stop.
Okay.
My question is, what's that sound that you hear, like when you're up there?
What are you talking about? Sound?
Yeah, like as soon as I stepped out of the station, like into the street, there was this like deafening, like not deafening, but it was like this all-encompassing, like surrounding sound that I'm actually struggling to explain right now. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
well, it was the sound of like this eerie, I don't know.
There used to be a lot of artists looked up that. Maybe it's the sound of broken dreams. They say the ghosts of unsold sculptures still roam the streets of there.
Like it sounded like the most dangerous undertow or like wind blowing across the desert or something.
He's probably a big fan from one of those, from like an air conditioning unit from one of those big buildings.
Oh, I don't know. It felt like it was coming from like every direction at once.
That's probably what it was. A big air conditioning unit. Something. Working on something underground. So they're working on something underground. Maybe.
And it was also like weirdly dark, like darker than it should have been. It was really a thing. I mean, like enough where I can't believe like you haven't heard like what this is. I don't know. Maybe you were right the first time. It was broken sound of broken dreams or whatever. I don't know.
Was it a very special moment?
I hope not.
Well, it sounds like you had a hell of a day. Let me guess, you people don't lock doors where you've been.
Oh, I forgot. No, wait. I locked it, right? Yeah, I locked it. Yeah, I locked it. Actually, yeah, no, I never lock my door back home.
You don't shut up. I swear I'm not crazy.
You keep asking me questions.
Well, then stop answering the questions. What time did you plan on getting up?
I have no plans.
Will you please shut up? I'm never gonna get to sleep.
It's up to you. Feel free to set your alarm, whatever.
You're the worst fucking storyteller in the world. Those should have been exciting stories. But you just totally fucking butchered it.
All right, well, you tell a story. Jeez. Or retell my story. Better. Sing us a lullaby or something.
You want to hear me sing? When I was a kid, my uncle's Russian friend Ivan used to sing me to sleep. I haven't even told you the story yet.
No, I think you nailed it. I think that's all we needed to hear. Something tells me any more detail might be heartbreaking.
This is just like the most disturbing thing. This is like the end of the world. Go to sleep,
Oh, God.
never to wake. Better strike iron curtain when installing your bed shop. Toilet paper for 100 kilometers. Potato famine. Frozen bank accounts. Self-induced miscarriage. Baby, what blankie? Knit. Oh, it was horrible. You think that was bad? Wait till you hear the second verse. I don't remember all the words of every single one. I do remember very distinctly. It would always end with "Good night, little baby."
Wait, how old were you at the time?
I was 19 years old.
How in the world did you get to sleep?
You kidding me? I didn't. I had to develop a good fake snoring just to get him to stop. When he was done, I'd hear him walk out, then hear the door quietly close. still in the home.
No offense, but something tells me your entire childhood is a hell of a story.